Before we dive into this real-life K-drama that has left millions around the world shaken, please make sure to subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications, because what you're about to hear isn't gossip, it's heartbreak, healing, and the rawest truth we've ever received from three of Asia's biggest stars. This is a love triangle that never asked to be written, but it was. And now, for the first time ever, Bai Lu has spoken. And Shen Yue has responded. This is not fiction. This is not a drama. This is their story. The beginning of something unnamed. When Bai Lu and Wang first met on the set of a crossover fashion campaign shoot, fans noticed something instantly. The chemistry was off the charts. Natural, effortless, unforced. The giggles in between takes, the way Dylan held the umbrella over Bai Lu's head when it started to rain, everything screamed more than just co-stars. Though the project was brief, their connection sparked a wildfire of speculation. Fan edits flooded TikTok and Weibo. Shipping hashtags trended for days. And for a brief moment, it seemed like we might witness the birth of a new on-screen to off-screen couple. But just as quickly as it started, the two separated. No follow-ups, no sightings, no updates, only silence. And then rumors. The Shen Yue connection. Shen Yue, Wang's longtime close friend and co-star from Meteor Garden, remained a constant presence in his life. Their friendship, forged in the fires of sudden fame, was deep and emotional. They'd been each other's anchors during the chaos of stardom. Fans began to compare the two women. Bai Lu, elegant and graceful, and Shen Yue, soft-spoken and naturally warm. But what no one knew was that all three were caught in a silent emotional storm. Behind the curtain of silence. For almost a year there was no word. Till now. In a quiet, dimly lit room, Bai Lu appeared on a surprise live stream titled My Truth. With no makeup, no lights, and no script, she sat before millions and began to cry. She didn't say Dylan's name immediately, but fans already knew. We were close. Closer than we ever admitted to anyone, she said softly. I didn't want to lie to myself anymore. We never called it love. But it was something real. The tears streamed down her face as she admitted. I held his hand when the cameras were off. I knew the way he looked at me was different. And I loved it. I loved him. But we were both afraid. Afraid of ruining careers. Afraid of the spotlight. Afraid of her Shen Yue. She wasn't the enemy. She was the silence. Bai Lu confessed something shocking. I never hated Shen Yue. She never did anything wrong. But her presence was always between us. According to Bai Lu, Dylan never chose. He couldn't say goodbye to her. He couldn't fully step toward me. So I stood in between, waiting until I couldn't anymore. And then came the day she walked away. No fight. No dramatic breakup. Just silence. An unspoken end. Shen Yue finally breaks her silence. Only hours later, Shen Yue posted a short video titled, To Clear the Air. She was calm, measured, but her eyes were red. I didn't want to say anything. But I'm tired of being painted as the other girl, in a story I didn't write. She admitted her closeness with Wang, their late-night talks, shared griefs, and emotional support through everything. But she also revealed something heartbreaking. I loved him. Quietly. Silently. From behind the curtain. But I never told him. Because I always knew. His heart was never fully mine. And then came the sentence that broke everyone. He never stopped thinking about her. Even when he was with me. Dylan's hidden letter. The truth that never came out. Insiders close to Wang revealed to reporters that months ago, Dylan had written a private letter. A letter never sent. Hidden in the notes app of his phone. Addressed to Bai Lu. It said, I wish I had fought harder. I wish I had pulled you in instead of letting you drift away. I loved you. I still do. But I didn't know how to let go of the past. And now, you're no longer in my future. The letter was deleted shortly after he saw Bai Lu at an awards show, where she walked past him like he never existed. The day everything fell apart. According to sources, The final breaking point happened at a private event for industry insiders. All three were there: Bai Lu, Dylan Wang, and Shen Yue. Dylan was seen holding a gift, a small velvet box. Witnesses say he was visibly nervous. Shaky. Quiet. He looked at Bai Lu across the room. Their eyes met. But then, he turned around. He handed the box to a staff member. He never gave it to her. That was the last time they were ever seen in the same space. The world responds. Fans in emotional shock. All over the world, fans began flooding comment sections with support, heartbreak, and disbelief. Hashtag Bailu Confession trended in over 14 countries. Hashtag Shen Yue Truth became a top search on Weibo. Hashtag Dylan Wang Regret dominated fan spaces globally. This is more than shipping. This is pain. This is love. My heart broke for Bailu. Then Shen Yue. Then Dylan. No one won. This isn't a triangle. This is a tragedy. Where are they now? Round Pushpin Bailu has cancelled all public appearances temporarily. Sources say she is traveling solo, possibly to Europe, for emotional healing. One friend said she's carrying a journal everywhere she goes. Round Pushpin Shen Yue has resumed filming but is staying off social media. Her team says she's emotionally stable but tired. Round Pushpin Dylan Wang has gone completely silent. His last story was a black screen with a white quote. Some stories don't end. They echo. No enemies, just broken hearts. This story has no villains. Only broken hearts, unspoken words, missed chances, and truth spoken too late. Bailu never tried to steal Dylan. Shen Yue never tried to replace anyone. Dylan Wang never meant to hurt either. But real life doesn't follow scripts. Sometimes love gets lost between timing and fear. What could have been? If Dylan had just called. If Bailu had just stayed a little longer. If Shen Yue had said what she felt sooner. Maybe. But maybe this wasn't meant to be a love story. Maybe it was meant to be a lesson, for all of us. To speak. To risk. Feel. Choose. Because when love is silent, pain takes its place. Just days after the emotional wave of confessions and regrets, something unexpected began to unfold. Not on stage. Not in interviews. But in the quiet corners of their lives, where healing often begins. A whisper from Europe. In a quiet cafe in Paris, a fan claimed to have spotted Bailu, alone, with a notebook open, pen in hand, her eyes fixed on a page she had been staring at for what seemed like forever. A soft smile appeared, one not of joy but peace. She looked like someone letting go, the fan wrote. A gift returned. Meanwhile, a staff member from the infamous industry event anonymously shared a photo. A small velvet box, unopened, left behind. Inside was a ring. Simple. Elegant. And a note folded beneath it. It said only, "For when the silence ends." Shen Yue's quiet move. Shen Yue, who had stayed silent again after her confession, made a quiet update. Her social media bio changed. It no longer read actress, dreamer, fighter. Now it says, healing. That's enough for now. Dylan's first words. Late at night, Dylan Wang finally posted. No video. No live. Just a sentence. I never hated the silence. I just thought I had more time. The comment section exploded. Not with hate but with heartbreak. Fans weren't choosing sides anymore. They were mourning something they all saw coming. But hoped wouldn't end this way. A story that stays. They may never reunite. They may never speak again. But their story, raw, unscripted and human, will stay. Not as a scandal, but as a reminder. Some love stories don't need an ending to be unforgettable. Because this was never just a triangle. It was a mirror. To every silent love we never confessed. If you were moved by this real-life story of love, heartbreak and truth, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. Because these stories matter. And this one will live in our hearts forever. This was Bailu. This was Dylan Wang. This was Shen Yue. And this was the love that could have been.